When he was a child, the master told Lu Huizhua that his destiny lacked sugar. He sneered at it, unimpressed. Sugar? Who would care about that? But one rainy day, holding her ashes in his arms, he finally understood. What his destiny truly lacked was her. Tang Su and dogs, not allowed inside. Snowflakes swirled in the air. Tang Su clutched her stomach, a sharp, stabbing pain cutting through her like a knife. Several times, she nearly collapsed from the agony. But she stubbornly kept pounding on the gate of Chenshui Bay Villa. Zhua, please lend me 50,000. Xiao Shun is truly your own flesh and blood. If he doesn't have surgery soon, he'll die. Zhua, please save Xiao Shun. The pain grew more intense, causing her body to spasm uncontrollably. She tried desperately to keep her back straight, but the agony bent her over like a shrimp. This late-stage stomach cancer really wasn't easy to bear. Gritting her teeth, Tang Su continued banging on the tightly shut door. Zhua, please, as long as you're willing to lend me the money, I'll do anything you want. Zhua, please. Bang! The villa's main gate suddenly flew open. In Tang Su's lifeless eyes, a fierce light instantly ignited. He's finally willing to see me, isn't he? But then the villa's Ganja stepped out, expressionless, hung a sign on the gate, and slammed it shut again with force. When Tang Su saw the words on the sign, she staggered backward, tears streaming down her face. Tang Su and dogs, not allowed inside. Haha, Tang Su cried, then laughed. Truthfully, that sign flattered her. In Lu Huizhua's eyes, Tang Su wasn't even worth as much as a dog. Lu Huizhua was convinced that Tang Su was a wicked woman. For years ago, she had looked down on him for being poor, callously aborted his child to marry into the wealthy Jing family, broke up with him, and even hired thugs to break his leg. But that wasn't how it really happened. She tried to explain, but he refused to believe her. The snowstorm grew heavier. The icy wind carried frost deep into Tang Su's chest, a bone-deep cold. She couldn't tell whether her body or her heart felt colder. A few withered leaves stuck to her right arm. Instinctively, she tried to lift her left hand to brush them away, but only realized after exerting herself. Her left arm was useless. During the 4 years she had been imprisoned by Lin Yanyan and Jing Hao, her left arm had become disabled. Lu Huizhua could never imagine what she had endured during those 4 years. Sometimes, even she dared not think about it. Whenever she did, her mind plunged into a dark hell of blood and chaos, utterly devoid of light. 3 days later, Tang Su finally saw Lu Huizhua. They were husband and wife, yet their relationship resembled more that of a courtesan and a patron. Even the small apartment he arranged for her to live in was located in Lu Lane, Willow Lane. A lane of flowers and willows, truly an apt metaphor. Normally, trying to find Lu Huizhua was nearly impossible. Only when he wanted to torment her would he come to Willow Lane, trampling her dignity underfoot. Now he forced her to kneel on the ground, his presence violent and demonic. Nian, after the storm subsided, he roughly threw her onto the floor, then calmly adjusted his clothes. His suit was crisp and elegant, exuding nobility. After the storm subsided, he roughly threw her onto the floor, then calmly adjusted his clothes. His suit was crisp and elegant, exuding nobility. The deep darkness in his eyes faded, leaving only piercing coldness and indifference. He looked down at Tang Su, sprawled helplessly on the ground. You're not Nian. Get out. A wave of pain seized Tang Su's stomach. She pressed hard on her abdomen, her lips trembling from the agony. Yet this physical pain from terminal cancer was nothing compared to the pain in her heart. Lin Yanyan. Again, he had mistaken her for Lin Yanyan. He hadn't always been like this. Back then, she had been the girl he cherished above all. The first time they made love, he had been terrified of hurting her. Now, what he enjoyed most was making her suffer. Gradually pulling her thoughts together, Tang Su painfully crawled toward Lu Huizhua and desperately grabbed his hand. Zhua, can we get along properly from now on? Zhua, I know you have many misunderstandings about me. I can explain everything. What happened 4 years ago wasn't what you saw. The truth is, Tang Su and dogs, not allowed inside. Snowflakes swirled wildly in the air. Tang Su clutched her stomach, a sharp, persistent pain cutting through her like a knife. Several times, she nearly collapsed from the agony, but stubbornly kept pounding on the door of the shallow bay villa. Zhua, please lend me 50,000. Xiao Shun is truly your own flesh and blood. If he doesn't have surgery soon, he'll die. Zhua, I'm begging you, save Xiao Shun. The pain grew more intense, causing her body to spasm uncontrollably. She tried desperately to keep her back straight, but the pain bent her into a hunched shape, like a shrimp. This late-stage stomach cancer really wasn't easy to bear. Gritting her teeth, Tang Su continued pounding on the tightly closed door. Zhua, please, if you just lend me the money, I'll do anything you ask. Zua, please, please. Bang! The villa's door suddenly flung open. A flicker of desperate hope ignited in Tang Su's lifeless eyes. Does Zua finally want to see me? The villa's Ganja stepped out, expressionless. He calmly hung a sign on the front door, then firmly locked it shut. When Tang Su saw the words on the sign, she staggered backward, tears instantly streaming down her face. Tang Su and dogs, not allowed inside. Ha! She laughed through her tears. Truthfully, that sign overestimated her. Because in Lu Huizua's eyes, Tang Su was worth less than a dog. Truthfully, that sign overestimated her. Because in Lu Huizua's eyes, Tang Su was worth less than a dog. Lu Huizua believed she was a wicked woman. For years ago, she had looked down on him as a penniless man, callously aborted his child, broke up with him to marry into the Jing family's wealthy household, and even hired thugs to break his leg. But that wasn't how it happened at all. Yet no matter how she explained, he refused to believe her. The snowstorm intensified. Cold wind laced with frost pierced Tang Su's chest, freezing deep into her bones. She couldn't tell whether her body or her heart felt colder. A few withered leaves stuck to her right arm. Instinctively, she tried to lift her left hand to brush them away. Only after exerting force did she suddenly remember, her left arm could no longer move. During the 4 years she'd been imprisoned by Lin Yinyan and Jing Hao, her left arm had become useless. Lu Huizua could never imagine what she had endured during those 4 years. Sometimes, even she dared not recall it. Every memory brought forth a dark, bloody hell, extinguishing any light within her heart. 3 days later, Tang Su finally saw Lu Huizua again. They were husband and wife, yet their relationship resembled more that of a courtesan and a patron. Even the small apartment he arranged for her to live in was named Lu Lane, a place associated with brothels and pleasure houses. How fitting. Normally, trying to find Lu Huizua was nearly impossible. Only when he wanted to torment her would he come to Lu Lane, trampling her dignity beneath his feet. Now, he forced her to kneel on the floor, his presence violent and terrifying, like a demon. Nian. After the storm subsided, he roughly threw her onto the ground, then casually adjusted his clothes. His suit remained crisp and elegant, exuding noble grace. The dark intensity in his eyes faded, replaced only by bone-chilling coldness and indifference. He looked down at Tang Su, sprawled helplessly on the floor. You're not Nian. Get out. A wave of pain seized Tang Su's stomach. She pressed hard against her abdomen, her lips trembling from the agony. Yet this physical pain from terminal cancer still paled in comparison to the pain in her heart. Lin Yanyan. Again, he had mistaken her for Lin Yanyan. He had once said that only by imagining her as Lin Yanyan could he be with her. Otherwise, he would vomit. He hadn't always been like this. Back then, she had been the girl he cherished above all else. The first time they made love, he had been terrified of hurting her. Now, his greatest pleasure was causing her pain. As her thoughts slowly returned, Tang Su struggled to crawl toward Lu Huizua, desperately grabbing his hand. Zua, can we get along properly from now on? Zua, I know you have many misunderstandings about me. I can explain everything. What happened 4 years ago wasn't as you saw it. The truth is, her stomach pain intensified, and Tang Su struggled to catch her breath before she could speak again. The truth is Lin Yanyan threatened me with Grandma's life to make me leave you. She cruelly killed Grandma herself. It's always been her who's been destroying everything. Click! A sharp pain shot through Tang Su's neck as Lu Huiz's long, well-defined fingers clamped down hard on her throat, cutting off the rest of her words. Tang Su, who gave you the right to smear Nian like this? 4 years ago, after you hired thugs to run me over and break my leg, it was Nian who paid a terrible price to save me. Without her, I'd be crippled today. And what were you doing then, Tang Su? Sleeping with Jing Hao? No, I didn't. Tang Su shook her head violently. Azua, there was nothing between me and Jing Hao. He was set up by Lin Yanyan. And I never hired anyone to hurt you. It was Lin Yanyan. Enough. Lu Huizua coldly cut her off. His perfectly sculpted face was icy with contempt. Tang Su stopped arguing. If he wouldn't believe her, any explanation would only humiliate her further. Pressing hard on her agonizing stomach, she forced herself to speak. Azua, I took Xiao Xin for a checkup a few days ago. His condition is very bad now. Can you lend me some money? Oh, right. I forgot to pay you. A mocking curve tugged at Lu Huizua's lips, but his eyes remained utterly cold, making the smile look especially cruel. He released her throat, pulled $200 bills from his wallet, and slapped them harshly across her face. 100 per time. More than you deserve. Tang Su's heart felt like it was splitting open, yet she still bent down carefully and picked up the 2 notes from the floor. Humble, submissive, like a stray dog. She placed the $200 bills into her wallet and tucked it away. 200 yuan was still money. Lu Huizhua had cut off nearly all her income just to humiliate her. But every penny he gave was a lifeline for Xiao Shen. After putting the money away, she asked softly, Azwa, can you lend me 50,000? I'll find a way to pay you back as soon as possible. Azwa, please save Xiao Shen. Save that bastard child? Lu Huizhua sneered, his gaze sharp as knives. Tang Su, you murdered my child. And yet you expect me to save the illegitimate brat you had with Jing Hao? I wish that little bastard died sooner and reincarnated faster. Why would I ever save him? No, Xiao Shen isn't a bastard. I didn't miscarry our baby. Xiao Shen is your real blood. Shut up. Lu Huizhua's last thread of patience snapped. Tang Su, if you keep trying to pin that bastard on me, I won't mind sending him to hell myself. Sending him to hell himself. Suddenly, Tang Su found she no longer had the strength to ask Lu Huizhua for money. Even if she did, she knew she wouldn't get it. She bit down hard on her lip, casting her dignity completely into the dust. Azwa, 200 is too little. Even the cheapest escort charges 1,000 per session. We did it twice tonight, you should give me at least 2,000. Humph. A thin-lipped smirk curled as a cold, low chuckle escaped him. So chilling that the air around seemed frozen, lifeless. Without another word, Lu Huizhua slammed a thick stack of cash into Tang Su's face and turned away, leaving without a trace of hesitation. The sharp edges of the $100 bills sliced across Tang Su's cheek, drawing blood. But she didn't feel the pain. All she thought was, 2,000 yuan, even if it wasn't enough for surgery, it would cover one blood transfusion for Xiao Shen. That meant her little boy could survive a few more days. That was good enough. As for her face, such a luxury didn't matter when compared to her son's life. Hearing footsteps outside, Tang Su thought maybe Lu Huizhua had changed his mind and come back. She rushed to the door and opened it. Standing at the staircase wasn't Lu Huizhua, it was Xiao Shen. Xiao Shen stared deeply at the retreating figure of Lu Huizhua, his small face filled with longing and sorrow. In his tiny hand, he tightly gripped a piece of paper. His lips moved silently. Tang Su could read what he said. Dad. When he saw Tang Su, Xiao Shen quickly hid the paper behind his back. A fragile, innocent smile spread across his pale face. Mom. Xiao Shen. I'm sorry. Mom failed you. Mom knows you've always wanted a dad. But Mom, I don't need a dad. Xiao Shen gently hugged Tang Su's arm, so mature and heartbreaking in his understanding. I have Mom and that's enough. My mom is the best mom in the world. The moment he finished speaking, his body suddenly stiffened, just like countless times before, and collapsed into Tang Su's arms, motionless. Azwa, I'm no longer your one and only. As he collapsed to the ground, the paper in his hand fluttered down like a withered leaf, landing lightly at Tang Su's feet. Tang Su could see that on the paper were three figures, baby, mommy, and daddy. Xiao Shen had always wanted a father. He just denied it because he feared it would hurt her. Beside daddy, he had carefully written several childish, bold characters. My invincible hero. Tears silently rolled down Tang Su's cheeks. Lu Huizhua was her invincible hero, yet he regarded Xiao Shen as nothing more than a despised, illegitimate child. How ironic. How tragic. An overwhelming wave of pain swept through Tang Su's heart once again. She tightly hugged Xiao Shen, letting her tears fall without restraint. Xiao Shen, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Without any delay, she clutched Xiao Shen close and drove the old, beat-up minivan to the hospital for a blood transfusion. Xiao Shen suffered from severe thalassemia. Even after the surgery, the doctor said he wouldn't live past 5. But if they didn't perform the surgery now, he wouldn't survive the winter. Her Xiao Shen was only 3.5 years old. So gentle, so well-behaved. She couldn't accept that such a beautiful life might end in this bleak winter. Xiao Shen, hold on. Mom will never let anything happen to you. At the intersection before the hospital, a bright red sports car suddenly shot out from around the corner, crashing violently into Tang Su's minivan. Tang Su sharply turned the steering wheel, but the sports car still slammed into her vehicle with brutal force. In that instant of chaos, she clearly saw Lin Yanyan's face, twisted with hatred and malice. Xiao Shen. Tang Su could feel her own body bleeding, but she didn't care. Carefully cradling Xiao Shen, who was covered in blood, she rushed toward the hospital like a madwoman. As soon as they arrived, Xiao Shen was rushed into the emergency room. Staring at the light above the door, Tang Su felt unprecedented panic gripping her heart. She prayed over and over in her mind, her Xiao Shen must not die. Tang Su. Hasty footsteps echoed behind her. Before she could react, Lu Huizhua roughly shoved her against the wall. Azwa. Tang Su's consciousness was already hazy. She had lost a lot of blood, and her pale face showed signs of exhaustion. Seeing Tang Su, covered in blood, Lu Huizua's heart clenched. But remembering Lin Yanyan's words moments ago, all he felt was bone-deep coldness. Tang Su, who told you to deliberately hit Yanyan? Yanyan is pregnant. You're trying to kill both her and the baby. Lin Yanyan is pregnant. Tang Su's heart suddenly tightened. In that moment, she remembered what he had said to her on her 18th birthday when he proposed. Su, in this life, I only want you. Whether it's your person or your heart, I belong to you forever. Su, you are my one and only. The vow still echoed in her ears. Yet now he had gotten another woman pregnant. Tang Su's fingertips trembled with pain. Her once vibrant, beating heart seemed to age in an instant. Azwa, I'm no longer your one and only. Speak. Lu Huizua snarled, tightening his grip around Tang Su's throat. Tang Su, even if Nianyan isn't your biological sister, she's called you sister for over 20 years. Why would you do this to her? Azwa, I didn't do it. It was Lin Yanyan. She deliberately drove into me and Xiaoxin. She wants to kill my Xiaoxin. Tang Su, you're truly beyond redemption. Would Nianyan risk her life and her unborn child's just to harm you and that bastard child? Tang Su, the doctor just told me. The baby in Nianyan's womb can't be saved. Lu Huizua's eyes burned crimson. Though he had never looked forward to this child, thinking of Tang Su's cruelty made him wish he could grind her bones to dust. You've killed 2 of my children. You owe me 2 lives, Tang Su. You deserve to die. Azwa, I really didn't. You. A doctor rushed over urgently. Third young Master Lu. Both Miss Lin and young Master Xiaoxin have rare panda blood. They both urgently need a transfusion, but the hospital's blood bank only has enough panda blood for 1 person. Who should we save? He found it filthy. Transfuse blood to Nian. Lu Huizua's gaze swept past Tang Su's face like a blade of ice. As for that bastard child, he should have died long ago. She had already experienced Lu Huizua's cruelty, but at this moment, as he emotionlessly crushed little Shin's hope of survival, Tang Su's chest still went cold uncontrollably. She shivered so violently her teeth chattered, screaming hoarsely, Azwa, you can't do this. Xiaoxin is truly your child. I've only ever had you in my life. There's no way he could belong to anyone else. Azwa, if you don't save Xiaoxin, you'll regret it. Only ever had me? Lu Huizua's eyes were deep and dark, devoid of any light. His slightly raised brows laced with cold mockery. Tang Su, I saw you sleeping with Jing Hao with my own eyes. Who gave you the nerve to claim you've only had me? I didn't. Azwa, believe me, I never slept with Jing Hao. Humph. Lu Huizua laughed, the viciousness in his eyes surging like a tide. A woman rotten to the core, yet still shamelessly pretending purity before me. Tang Su, aren't you disgusted with yourself? Tang Su, aren't you disgusted with yourself? Those words cut deep, but right now Tang Su couldn't care less. All she wanted was for Xiaoxin to live. She turned and desperately grabbed the doctor's hand. Doctor, please, give Xiaoxin a blood transfusion. If you don't, he'll die. He's only 3.5 years old. He hasn't even begun to enjoy life. He can't die, he can't die. Suddenly remembering something, Tang Su frantically turned to Lu Huizua. Azwa, Lin Yanyan is faking it. After she hit us, she smiled at me. Such a smug, arrogant smile. She wasn't injured at all. Azwa, Lin Yanyan deliberately tried to kill our Xiaoxin. Don't fall for her trick. Azwa, please, don't take Xiaoxin's blood away. That blood is his life. Tang Su, you're utterly beyond salvation. Lu Huizua ignored her completely, coldly commanding the doctor. Save Nian. If anything happens to her, I'll make every one of you pay with your lives. Yes, third young Master Lu. The doctor dared not offend Lu Huizua and quickly arranged for blood to be sent to Lin Yanyan. No, doctor, you can't give the blood to Lin Yanyan. Please, save Xiaoxin. Please save him. Tang Su clung tightly to the doctor's hand, then dropped to her knees. Please save my Xiaoxin, please. Miss Tang, I'm sorry. The doctor gently pried Tang Su's fingers away, sighed softly, and still instructed her assistant to deliver the blood bags to Lin Yanyan's emergency room. Watching the doctor walk away without hesitation, the last glimmer of light in Tang Su's eyes extinguished completely. Saving Lin Yanyan meant her Xiaoxin would die. Seeing Lu Huizua standing before her, a sudden spark flashed in Tang Su's mind. She desperately grabbed his hand. Azwa, you have the same rare blood type too. Go give Xiaoxin a transfusion. Please, please give him your blood. Transfuse blood to that bastard child? Not a trace of warmth appeared on Lu Huizua's proud, icy face. I find it filthy. Azwa, if you won't give blood to Xiaoxin, then give it to Lin Yanyan instead. Let Xiaoxin use hospital blood. Lu Huizhua roughly shook off Tang Su's hand, his chilling aura resembling a soul-reaping demon from the 18th level of hell. Tang Su, I want that bastard child dead. Tang Su, I want that bastard child dead. Tang Su collapsed onto the floor, broken. Who had whispered in her ear back then? He said, Su, have a child with me. I'll make our child the second happiest person in the world. At that time, Tang Su was still an innocent, carefree girl. She laughed shyly and brightly. Why not the first happiest? He kissed her earlobe, tender and affectionate. Because the first happiest person is you, my Su. Frantically wiping tears from the corners of her eyes, Tang Su realized she had failed to become the happiest person in the world, and now their child was about to lose his life. Where was the happiness in that? Azwa, your promise to me has ultimately become nothing but mockery. Stiffly rising to her feet, Tang Su caught sight of the bloodstains on her clothes slowly drying, and suddenly her eyes lit up. He killed her child. She had panda blood too. She could save Xiao Xin. She was in the late stages of stomach cancer and her blood quality wasn't good, but cancer generally doesn't spread through blood, and with certain processing procedures, cancer cells were unlikely to survive anyway. She could still donate blood to Xiao Xin. Only this transfusion would accelerate her death. A rare, radiant smile appeared on Tang Su's face, a smile long lost. As long as Xiao Xin could live, even if she died instantly, it would be worth it. Watching her blood slowly drawn from her veins, Tang Su felt an unprecedented sense of fulfillment. Her Xiao Xin would be saved. Thanks to Tang Su's timely blood donation, Xiao Xin's life was finally pulled back from the brink of death. But her body had already been at its absolute limit. Combined with donating over 1,000 milliliters of blood in one go, she ultimately fainted into unconsciousness. When she woke up, 3 days had passed. Dazed and groggy, she felt someone tightly gripping her hand, calling her Su again and again. His voice was as tender as it once was in the very beginning, laced with a lanxi that made her heart ache. As if they hadn't endured countless hardships and misunderstandings, as if they were still that devoted young couple bound by love and fate. Tang Su opened her eyes, expecting to see the man she had yearned for day and night. Instead, standing before her hospital bed was Lin Yanyan, wearing a sinister smile. That tenderness. Surely it had only been a sweet dream after all. She and Lin Yanyan shared a deep, karmic enmity. Lin Yanyan was an orphan adopted by her parents. 3 years ago, Lin Yanyan found her biological parents, Lin Xiao and Su Cha, and instantly became the cherished princess of the Lin family, one of High City's most powerful Halman families, basking in glory and splendor. And it was the same Lin Yanyan who, 4 years ago, kidnapped the kindest grandmother in the world, threatening Tang Su to leave Lu Huizhua or else her grandmother would die. In the end, Tang Su gave in, but Lin Yanyan still ruthlessly killed the grandmother, then colluded with Jing how to lock Tang Su inside that sunless, hidden prison. An endless wave of hatred surged through Tang Su. She coldly spoke, Lin Yanyan, what are you doing here? Coming to tell you some good news. Lin Yanyan grinned with a twisted expression, her beautiful face instantly turning grotesque like a demon. Tang Su, you're pregnant. What? Tang Su touched her abdomen in disbelief. After enduring so much suffering giving birth to Xiao Shen, her body had been severely damaged. The doctor said it would be nearly impossible for her to conceive again. Yet now she was actually carrying his child once more. For severe thalassemia, recovery was almost a fantasy. But if they used the umbilical cord blood from her second baby for a hematopoietic stem cell transplant, Xiao Shen's condition could be completely cured. Just imagining Xiao Shen no longer suffering from pain, able to laugh and play like any normal child. Tang Su couldn't help but smile. She hadn't even enjoyed that joy for 3 seconds when Lin Yanyan's chilling voice echoed in the air again. But Huizhua has already aborted that bastard child. Lin Yanyan, what did you say? Tang Su screamed, her eyes bloodshot, clutching her abdomen desperately. What happened to my child? Tang Su, I said. The bastard inside your belly is dead. No one can save Tang Yenshin. Let him just wait obediently for death. I don't believe it. I'll go ask Zhuo myself. I don't believe he'd abort our child. Lin Yanyan forcefully pushed down Tang Su, who was struggling to get up. She smirked, vicious and deranged. Tang Su, do you want to know why Huizhua killed your child? Without waiting for Tang Su to respond, she sneered again. Because, I told him my child died, and I was devastated. Huizhua couldn't bear seeing me sad, so he killed your child, to bury it alongside mine. Recalling how, upon hearing the doctor say Tang Su had miscarried due to excessive blood donation, Lu Huizhua's eyes had filled with instant, shattered pain. Lin Yanyan's entire face twisted with hatred. When she pretended to have slept with Lu Huizhua while he was drunk, falsely claiming she was pregnant, and then faked a miscarriage, his icy, indifferent expression hadn't wavered in the slightest. So why did Tang Su get to be the one who tore him apart with grief? Hate twisted into a devil. Yet Lin Yanyan smiled ever more gently. Tang Su, I have one more piece of news for you. Isn't late-stage stomach cancer just wonderful? Do you even know how many days you have left to live? Less than a month to live. Less than a month. Tang Su, the doctor said you have less than a month left at most. Look at yourself, sickly and broken. What do you even have to fight me with? Less than a month. After learning she had late-stage stomach cancer, Tang Su had already steeled herself for death. But hearing Lin Yanyan say she only had less than a month left still shocked her deeply. During her last checkup, the doctor had estimated about 6 months. She never imagined her body would deteriorate this quickly. Seeing Tang Su's pale expression, Lin Yanyan finally felt some satisfaction. Tang Su, the baby in your belly is already over 3 months along. That big of a fetus is nearly fully formed, with a heartbeat too. Tell me, when we crushed it to pieces and killed it, don't you think it must have been in so much pain? How couldn't it hurt? Even seeing the bloody mess of your dead baby made me cringe. Oh, Tang Su, I forgot to tell you. Your child's gender was already detectable. It was a little girl, fated to die young. Too bad. She ended up fed to the dogs. I always thought Tang Yenshin was short-lived enough. But your daughter was even more doomed than that sickly brat. Huaizwa did all this just to make me happy. Tang Su, I'm the one truly responsible for killing both your children. Watching them die so horribly right before my eyes, I feel ecstatic. Fed to the dogs. Hearing Lin Yanyan's malicious, gloating words, Tang Su could no longer contain her rage. She didn't know where she found the strength. But suddenly she leapt up from her hospital bed and slapped Lin Yanyan hard across the face. Lin Yanyan hadn't expected Tang Su to actually hit her. She was stunned, dazed by the blow. By the time she came to her senses, Tang Su had already grabbed her hair and slammed her head violently against the wall. Tang Su, you're insane. Let go of me. Lin Yanyan screamed, struggling to break free. But Tang Su at that moment seemed like a dying flame flaring back to life. Her strength was extraordinary, and Lin Yanyan couldn't escape. Lin Yanyan, you killed my daughter. You stole the only hope Tang Yenshin had to survive. I'll kill you. Tang Su had completely lost her mind. The only thing echoing through her heart and mind was those words. Her daughter was fed to the dogs. Fed to the dogs. Her eyes bloodshot red. She only wanted her child killer to pay. Ah! Tang Su, you mad woman. Stop this now. With sudden force, Tang Su shoved Lin Yanyan down onto the ground, straddling her. She attacked wildly, slamming her head repeatedly into the floor. In moments, blood splattered everywhere. Lin Yanyan, you deserve to die. You truly deserve to die. Tang Su yanked viciously at Lin Yanyan's long hair, pulling out a large clump in one brutal motion. Tang Su had never hated anyone as much as she hated this woman. Not in her entire life. She wished she could devour her flesh and drink her blood. She had already brutally murdered Grandma, and now she had destroyed both of Tang Su's children. She must pay. Huaizwa, save me. Save me. Lu Huaizwa rushed in, grabbing Tang Su and tearing her off Lin Yanyan, then roughly throwing her to the ground. Tang Su, have you gone completely mad? Seeing Lu Huaizwa, cold and protective as he gently cradled Lin Yanyan in his arms, an indescribable sense of injustice flooded Tang Su's heart. Memories surged. When she first told him she was pregnant, that usually reserved, aloof man had been so overjoyed he acted like a fool. He held her tightly, grinning stupidly. Su, we're having a daughter. She had smiled happily too. How do you know it's a daughter? Maybe it's a son. But he had insisted, absolutely certain. No, it's a daughter. Sons are too ugly. I want a little princess as beautiful as my Su. Now their little princess had finally arrived, but he had killed her with his own hands. Her tiny body had been thrown to the dogs. Tears instantly blurred Tang Su's vision. Choking on sobs, she whispered, Azwa, why did you kill our daughter? Get down on your knees. Apologize to Nian Nian. Lu Huaizwa's chest tightened, but seeing Lin Yanyan in his arms, her face swollen and bruised, and remembering Tang Su's deliberate act of running him over, his heart instantly froze over like 1,000 miles of icy wasteland. What? You killed my child with Nian Nian, yet you expect the abomination in your womb to live? Tang Su, you must be dreaming. Tang Su completely broke down. Azwa, that's not an abomination. It's our daughter, your own flesh and blood. Tang Su, your heart is venomous and cruel. You hurt Nian Nian once, and now even if what's inside you is truly my child, it won't survive. Any child you bear, I find it filthy. Tang Su's heart shattered inch by inch. Suddenly, she no longer had the strength to question him. So that was why he wanted to kill their child so ruthlessly. Because he found it dirty. Huaizwa, it hurts. Lin Yanyan whimpered. her delicate face twisted in pain. I heard my sister fainted, so I came to check on her. But I didn't expect. Nian, I won't let you be bullied for nothing. When Lu Huizhua looked at Lin Nian, his tenderness was almost unbearable. When he turned to Tang Su, only bone-chilling cold remained. Tang Su, get down on your knees. What? Tang Su couldn't help but cry out in shock. She never expected Lu Huizhua to demand this of her. Kneel. Apologize to Nian. I won't. Tang Su stubbornly refused. I've done nothing wrong. Why should I kneel to Lin Nian? Huizhua, it's okay. My sister just lost her child and is overwhelmed with grief. She took it out on me, but I'm fine. Really, I'm okay. Lin Nian spoke sweetly and obediently. Huizhua, please don't be mad at my sister anymore. My wounds don't hurt at all. Truly, not even a little. Tang Su, kneel. Lu Huizhua threatened coldly. Otherwise, I'll have Tang Yenshin, the bastard, thrown out of the hospital right now. Tang Su knew full well that Lu Huizhua wasn't joking. With his power, if he intervened, no hospital in Haicheng would dare admit Xiaoshen. He was using Xiaoshen's life to force her to kneel and beg for mercy before Lin Nian. Tang Su hated letting Lin Nian have her way, but then she remembered how Xiaoshen, despite his pale, colorless face from pain, still smiled sweetly at her and comforted her, saying, "Don't be sad for me, Mom. I really don't hurt." In the end, she bent her knees and knelt humbly before Lin Nian. Lu Huizhua's expression stiffened. His already icy cold face, like snow falling on a frozen mountain, grew even darker. She actually knelt, of course. She'd always been shameless when it came to that bastard child. Lin Nian could barely suppress the smile tugging at her lips. She pinched herself hard to maintain her fragile appearance as she weakly said, "Huizhua, please don't punish my sister anymore. She knows she was wrong. She'll take good care of me from now on." Lu Huizhua coldly withdrew his gaze from Tang Su. This woman enjoys being degraded anyway. She might as well serve you hand and foot. Saves us the cost of hiring a nurse. Because of those words, Tang Su truly became Lin Nian's personal servant. When Lin Nian demanded pork rib soup, Tang Su, despite her own pain, dragged herself into the kitchen and cooked a large pot. She wouldn't even serve a dog if it were up to her, but Lu Huizhua held her by the throat, so she could only grit her teeth and endure. When the soup was served, Lin Nian didn't drink it. Instead, she picked up the entire bowl and poured the scalding broth directly onto her own hand. Afterward, she screamed hysterically toward the door, "Huizhua, help! My sister is trying to burn me alive." Tang Su was stunned by Lin Nian's reckless self-harm. As soon as she realized what had happened, she knew. She'd been framed again. Lu Huizhua would never forgive her. Since there was no way out now, she might as well go all the way and play the villain to the end. Lin Nian, you love playing weak and pitiful, don't you? Today, I'll give you plenty to play with. Tang Su suddenly grabbed the remaining half-full bowl of soup, summoned all her strength, and unhesitatingly hurled it straight into Lin Nian's face. The person who killed Su Cha was Tang Su. Lin Nian instantly let out a scream like a slaughtered pig. She pressed her hands tightly over her face, but no matter how hard she pressed, the pain only intensified. Slap! A fierce slap landed on Tang Su's face. Her pale little face snapped sideways, blood gushing from the corner of her lips. She didn't feel pain. She only felt absurdity. The man she loved was truly blind. My face! Lin Nian's face was swollen and red, looking especially horrifying. Pain made her teeth chatter. Pain made her teeth chatter. Huizhua, it hurts so much. It hurts. I can't open my eyes. I think I'm going blind. Nian, I won't let anything happen to you. Lu Huizhua gently scooped Lin Nian into his arms and headed straight to the office doctor. As he reached the door, he suddenly turned, looking down at Tang Su, speaking slowly and deliberately. Tang Su, you'd better pray that Nian remains unharmed. Otherwise, I'll make sure you suffer beyond death. Heh! Tang Su let out a low, self-mocking laugh. Having lost her unborn child, Xiaoshen had completely cut off her last hope. She was already living a life worse than death. She wanted to see just how much more he could possibly destroy her. Fortunately, the rib soup had cooled in the pot for a while. Lin Nian hadn't been disfigured or blinded, but scalded by the hot soup, combined with the injuries left from Tang Su's beating, she now looked utterly pitiful. Lin Furen, Su Cha, upon hearing about Lin Nian's accident, didn't even wait for Lin Xiao and rushed to the hospital in a panic. Just as she was about to push open the door to Lin Nian's ward, she heard voices inside. The door was slightly ajar. Pushing it open just enough to peer through, she clearly saw Tang Su's mother, Shun Shuhui, clutching Lin Nian's hand and crying uncontrollably. Nian, If anything happens to you, how could I go on living? Mom, don't worry about me. Huaizhua will protect me. This time he won't spare that bitch Tang Su. Shen Shuhui wiped her tears. That bitch Tang Su went too far. How dare she treat my precious baby like this? I won't forgive her either. Su Cha-Cha was about to walk in when she froze upon hearing Shen Shuhui's words. She was also a mother. She understood how deeply a mother loves her child. She couldn't imagine a mother calling her own daughter a bitch. A chill ran down her spine. Then she heard Shen Shuhui say, Nian, what should we do if your identity gets exposed? Lin Nian looked confident. Mom, don't worry. The doctor said that bitch Tang Su has at most a month left. Once she dies, no one will ever know she's the real Lin family heiress. Really? Is that bitch really dying soon? Shen Shuhui exclaimed in wild joy. That bitch deserved to die long ago. Bang! Su Cha-Cha's bag crashed heavily onto the floor. She never imagined she would accidentally uncover such a massive secret today. Lin Nian wasn't her biological daughter. Tang Su was. Hearing the noise at the door, both Shen Shuhui and Lin Nian turned their gaze toward it. Seeing Su Cha-Cha, their faces turned deathly pale. Mom! Overwhelmed with shock, Su Cha-Cha trembled all over. She pushed the door open and stepped inside. Nian, was what you just said true? Lin Nian suppressed her inner panic. Mom, what truth? What are you talking about? Nian, you're not my daughter. Tang Su is my real daughter. Isn't she? Su Cha-Cha glared coldly at Shen Shuhui. Why did you deceive me like this? Realizing Su Cha-Cha had heard everything, Lin Nian suddenly grew calm. Her eyes swept coldly around the room. The biggest advantage of this VIP ward was its silence, and her entire floor had been reserved by Lu Huaizhua. Even if someone died here, no one would notice. Lin Nian rose from the bed, her voice carrying an eerie tenderness. Mom, I'm your biological daughter. Why would I ever lie to you? How could you not trust your own flesh and blood? Seeing Lin Nian approaching, Su Cha-Cha sensed something was wrong. She turned to leave, but Shen Shuhui had already locked the door shut. Su Cha-Cha's wrist had been injured before. She couldn't muster any strength. Lin Nian easily overpowered her, slamming her head violently against the wall. Lin Nian easily overpowered her, slamming her head violently against the wall. As Su Cha-Cha lay barely conscious, Lin Nian magically produced a knife from her hand. Mom, all these secrets will rest underground with you. Oh, and remember, one who killed you wasn't me. It was Tang Su. With all her strength, she plunged the knife into Su Cha-Cha's chest, again and again. Shen Shuhui clamped her hand tightly over Su Cha-Cha's mouth, ensuring she couldn't even cry for help. All Su Cha-Cha could do was close her eyes in despair and defiance. Inch by inch. All Su Cha-Cha could do was close her eyes in despair and defiance. Inch by inch. After stabbing Su Cha-Cha 3 or 4 times, Lin Nian finally dropped the knife. This wasn't her first murder, but having called Su Cha-Cha mom for so long, her hands couldn't help trembling. She reached out shakily to check Su Cha-Cha's breath. Mom, she seems gone. Mom, no matter what it takes, you must lure Tang Su here.